Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to What's New with ME. I'm your host, Ali Mehdaoui. And tonight, I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. America and the world feel like they're moving 100 miles an hour. In the last few days alone, what we've seen a shooting involving members of the White House press corps, is in tension between America and Iran, late night comedy war involving Donald Trump and Jimmy Kimmel, a major U.S. airline collapse, political map changes that may reshape the 2026 midterms, a full-blown civil war in conservative media, and on top of all of that, the NBA playoffs are absolutely on fire. So tonight I ask you, are you living through the headlines or history? Let's get into it. Segment 1, the press corps shooting. A night about journalism turns into a total security nightmare. So what was supposed to be one of the most protected media events in America, the White House Correspondents Dinner, turned into something nobody expected. Authorities say a suspect identified as Cole Thomas Allen allegedly breached a security checkpoint and opened fire near the main entrance. Now, here's the newest development. Federal investigators say new ballistic evidence reportedly confirms that a pellet from the suspect's own shotgun struck a federal officer during the attack. But here's the question nobody can ignore. How does someone allegedly move around a secured hotel, case the venue, and still get that close? This is now triggering calls for congressional oversight, Secret Service review, and major changes to media event security. And let me just say this. When journalists, federal agents, and the presidents are all in one building and something like this happens, that's not just breaking news, that's a system failure. And yes, some people online are already saying airport TSA may now be stricter than Washington. That's a joke. That joke may be funny, but the implications aren't. Segment 2, USA and Iran. Is it peace or is it just a pause? So overseas, the U.S. government says active military hostilities with Iran have officially ended. Sounds good, sounds peaceful, sounds diplomatic, but here's the problem. That thing called the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most important oil shipping routes on Earth, is still tense. Commercial ships are reportedly still facing harassments. Military rhetoric continues, and President Donald Trump has publicly said further strikes remain possible if Iran crosses the line. Meanwhile, Iran has reportedly floated peace proposals while simultaneously continuing aggressive messaging. So let me ask you this. Are we watching peace or just a strategic timeout before the next escalation? Because you may not think Middle East politics affect your life until you're paying $6 a gallon at the pump. That's how global conflict may hit Main Street. Segment 3, Jimmy Kimmel versus Trump. When comedy becomes campaign fuel. So let's talk about media, yeah? Because once again, Jimmy Kimmel and Donald Trump are going at it. Kimmel makes a controversial joke. Trump demands ABC to fire him. Kimmel fires back on national television. And now the internet is split. Some say comedians roast politicians. That's America. Others say this election cycle is too tense for jokes like that. But here is what's really happening. This isn't just comedy anymore. This is media power, corporate pressure, political influence, and a fight over who's in control of the national narrative. And at this point, late night TV may be doing as much political damage as cable news, maybe even more. Segment 4, Spirit Airlines collapse. America budget airline gone, baby, gone. So let's talk about a story that hit travelers hard. Spirit Airlines is done. After more than 3 decades, operations have shut down, flights canceled, employees impacted, passengers stranded. That sounded like Spirit Airlines when it was operating. No, I'm just joking. Families scrambling. And while Spirit became the punchline of travel memes for years, tiny seats, baggage fees, surprise charges, here's the truth. For millions of working class Americans, Spirit made travel possible. Now, with fuel prices rising, debt pressure, and failed merger deals, the company has collapsed. And the impact? Fewer low cost options, potentially higher airfares, and thousands of workers wondering what actually comes next. Sometimes behind the meme, there's real pain. Segment 5, redistricting. The election before the election, huh? Now let's talk about politics. And honestly, this may be one of the biggest stories nobody is talking about. Redistricting. States like Texas, Florida, Virginia, Louisiana are all in major battle over congressional maps. And here's why this actually matters. Because before voters cast ballots, district lines may already determine who has the advantage. Let that sink in. Sometimes elections aren't won at rallies. Sometimes they are won with a map. And if the U.S. House comes down to 3, 4, or 5 seats, well, these decisions may shape the next Congress. So I ask, are we still choosing our politicians, or are politicians choosing their voters? Now that's the real debate. Segment 6, conservative media meltdown. All right, so who controls the right? Now, let's talk about media war, because conservative media is absolutely exploding right now. Candace Owens, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Patrick Bet-David, and the controversy surrounding Erica Kirk has now become bigger than personalities. This is about influence, legacy, loyalty, and who owns the next generation of political media. And in 2026, media isn't just information, it's identity. It's power, and even sometimes it's war. Segment 7, NBA playoffs. And before we close, the NBA is on fire. Because I want to wrap up with something positive. Let's hit the hardwood. Because if you haven't been watching the NBA playoffs, you're missing some incredible basketball. Biggest shock of round 1, the Philadelphia 76ers, down 3-1. Most analysts counted them out. Most fans counted them out. Probably half of Boston counted them out. But then Joel Embiid took over. Tyrese Maxey played fearless, and Philly stormed back to eliminate the Boston Celtics in Boston. Now, round 2, Philly versus the New York Knicks. Madison Square Garden, Philly fans, 2 cities built on toughness. This could be the most emotional series of the playoffs. And out west, the Los Angeles Lakers are still alive, which means LeBron James is still doing LeBron things. And now they face the explosive Oklahoma City Thunder. Youth versus legacy. Speed versus experience. And my question to you, who do you trust more with the season on the line? LeBron, Embiid, or the young Thunder core? Drop your picks, because this playoff season is just getting started. So what did we learn tonight? Journalism isn't safe. Peace isn't granted. Comedy isn't just comedy. Travel isn't cheap. Politics isn't simple. Media is changing. And sports still bring us together. I'm Ali Mehdaoui, and this is What's New with ME. If your brand, your business, your podcast, or your voice is ready for prime time, well, visit themestudios.net. It's right there for you. themestudios.net. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious, stay dangerous with the intellectual brain of yours, and stay with ME.
Still marketing your business like it's the Yellow Pages era? Welcome to ME Studios, where local solopreneurs and small business owners catch up with the digital world and take over it. We help you go from invisible to undeniable. Featured on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. Plus, gain press exposure in over 100 to 300 major media outlets like Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC, and the CW. Right here in Eatontown, New Jersey, just steps away from the soon-to-be Netflix studios, our multi-unit facility is built for creators, entrepreneurs, and visionaries. Stop marketing like it's 1995. Start building your digital authority today with a team that gets it.